the internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Where it all begins. The quest to become great. Inspired by those who went before them, these four boys dream of playing in the ISSA schoolboy football competitions.
Will he score this for Casey? Will he score? It's a shot, it's a goal!
And it's a shot, and it's a goal! And Casey has won the Manning Cup, and they will play Clarendon College in the Olivia Shield.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, trust broken. Family vent at funeral of Jamar Farquharson, the 22-year-old killed by cops. Help us. Petersfield shelter manager says they are running out of supplies. Long road to recovery. Clarendon farmers devastated by Hurricane Melissa. And Friends of Jamaica United States pledges additional $10 million to aid Melissa recovery. Later on in sports, November 21 resumption proposed for schoolboy football. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Monday, November 10, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. First up, there's growing tension in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon this evening as residents say trust in the police has been shattered. Nearly 2 months after 22-year-old Jamar Farquharson was fatally shot by law enforcement, the wounds remain fresh. He was laid to rest on Sunday, but for many, there's still no closure. Amoy Harriet has this CVM News follow-up.
Farquharson would have been 23 this coming Friday, but instead of celebrating his life, his family and friends are now mourning his death. The youngster was shot and killed by police in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon in September. He was laid to rest on Sunday.
When I should be looking forward to say happy birthday to my child, I have to say rest in peace, my child.
Lafayette Powell is Jamar's mother.
You know that he bound with an illness, but the illness did not take his life. Someone brutalized him and tear the family apart. You think it is easy? I expect my child to come and bury me. I have to be buried my firstborn child. It is totally wrong.
Now, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, confirmed days after Jamar's death that he wasn't the subject of the police warrant for the fatal raid. But there have been suggestions that the 22-year-old was involved in criminal activity. Ms. Powell is, however, dismissing those claims as she maintains her son was innocent.
I teach him, I said, if you ever come in front of no police officers, if you have to strip yourself, hold up your hand and let them know that you do not come with any harm or wrong. And he do exactly that. And what he do in the return, what come out of it? His life was been taken. No one is perfect. We all grow up and children do wrongs, yes. But everyone can see for their eyes open that my child did not do anything wrong.
Rebecca Harrison, who is a resident of Cherry Tree Lane, told our newsroom that Jamar's death has further strained the relationship between community members and the police. She says prior to the shooting, the officers had been trying to build trust in the community, even hosting meetings with the residents.
From the death of the young man in Cherry Tree Lane, I don't go back to no meeting because I can understand. Police come to say they bring in Cherry Tree to love the officers and the officers to love Cherry Tree.
Meanwhile, Mayor of Maypen, Joel Williams, is taking aim at the police, criticizing their actions and response to the situation.
It cannot be that if you goes into a community, an inner city community, every young man are bad guys. Not true. It is not true. And while we know that in many of these inner city communities, there are young men around who are not upholders of the law, you can never, and you should never, paint all young men or women with the same brush. He's no longer here with us today because while we have good cops in the security force, we have bad cops too.
Mr. Williams also has this appeal
to the security forces that while we depend on you to uphold the law and the order within our space, within our country, I'm going to ask you, when you go into the inner city, make sure you know who you're going for.
Amoy Harriet reporting for CVM News.
Well, following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, devastation wasn't limited to homes and businesses. The storm also ripped through Jamaica's agricultural heartland. Farmers in Clarendon are now left picking up the pieces of their livelihoods, describing the damage as one that will leave lasting scars on both their farms and their future. Our reporter is Akeem Aret.
It's a heartbreaking scene across the farmlands of Redland in Clarendon. Fields once green and promising are now brown and broken. For the farmers in the parish, Hurricane Melissa didn't just uproot crops, it uprooted hope. Farmers say they have never witnessed such widespread damage.
Yeah, man, I want to look at this storm ever feel right now. Yeah, man, because everything was going right surrounded, you know. Yeah, must have a farm thing, but house otherwise good still. But I farm and thing get damaged for me still.
It's a really difficult position we're in right now, you know. For if as you look at my farm, everything gone straight to square one. You understand? So at the same time, there is life, there is hope.
From banana walks to yam fields, the damage stretches for miles, and with every uprooted stalk lies a story of loss. Devon Lee Gordon says he lost thousands of yams and it could take months before his farm begins to recover.
As you look, I have about almost 2,000 banker yellow yam, you know, and everything flat. We get some men from yesterday. We are trying to see if we can ease them up. But at the same time, it's difficult. But at the same time, we don't expect this, you know. And at the same time, you know, that men come and try to help you, we have to tear them. You know, so the help is really devastation. You understand me?
And as the farmers try to salvage what's left of their farms, the fear of a national food crisis is beginning to take root.
Food price is gone up already. It's gone up already. Yeah, people want food right now. Right now. But who can't find it? Yeah, since we wait for the next year, yeah, if it all comes so fast.
We have right till January, February, in March, you know. So really and truly, then just pushing now to beer with everything done, then gone right on square one. You know, so if we could get them, if we did get them know that the yam was all right, there is no problem. For we just cut them off and reap it, but then cannot. We have to try if we can get back the head, if we can plant again. You know.
The farmers who are now counting their losses are pleading with the authorities to step in.
As a farmer, well, for me, you know, I just write the right at square one. You know, but that's my livelihood. That's my livelihood, and me just the right at square one. Hopeful I could get some help. I would really appreciate it. You understand me?
For these farmers in Redland, Clarendon, rebuilding won't be easy, but they say with a little help, they can once again turn the soil of despair into a harvest of hope. Reporting for CVM News, I am Akeem Aret.
Anxiety has turned to frustration for residents of the Edmund Ridge estate in Montego Bay, St. James. Many of them are still reeling from the devastation left behind by Hurricane Melissa. Omari Wilson has that report.
Residents of the Edmund Ridge Estate in St. James say what was once marketed as a safe and modern community has now become a source of constant fear and frustration. In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, families are still counting their losses, some forced to abandon homes they say were no match for the storm's force.
99% of persons here, even if we didn't lose our roof, our house is currently leaking. My daughter lost everything, from school stuff to just simple everything in her room, because that room, the middle part of the room lifted and it was wet. We had to be sweeping out water from top to bottom. So we just need somebody to come and have a meeting. It's been almost 2 weeks and no one has come forward and say, you know, guys, let's meet as a community.
As many struggle to rebuild after being forced to flee their homes during the storm, concerns are mounting over the structural integrity of several houses in Edmund Ridge Estate.
And the houses are paper houses. Paper houses that we're grateful to NHD and the other aids, but we still have to be paying a mortgage for. So at this point, you know, we know that the agreement would have gone through, but we need somebody to come and establish whether the houses are safe or not. I have decking and the water was coming through the deck. So I don't know if it's not deck and it is something else. Water was coming through the ground floor and we had to evacuate at that point.
There are a lot of defects. We have been trying to get them remedied. We had only 180 days to point out any remedies that needed to be fixed or any defects. They have come and done some kind of remedy, which is just patch. And so it keeps coming back. It shows the quality of the workmanship here.
And while residents continue to assess the damage to their homes, many say what's even harder to cope with is the silence. No updates, no visits, and no clear point of contact from the housing agency.
One of the biggest problems you have is the fact that there was no form of communication, you know? Just reach out to us, if it's even to sympathize and see how you can help. A little goes a long way. I mean, we're being directed to insurance, yes, but how much are we going to get from the insurance company themselves?
Adding to their frustration is the sight of ongoing construction nearby as a brand new phase of the housing development continues to rise even as current residents await assistance. Omari Wilson reports for CVM News.
There's an urgent appeal this evening for donors to assist the Petersfield Hurricane Shelter in Westmoreland. Manager Junior Gordon says while the help received so far is appreciated, the facility is still in desperate need of sanitary supplies and non-perishable items. Giselle Mills has this report.
Flooded again, but this time with help of varying kinds. Shelter manager in Petersfield, Westmoreland, Junior Gordon, is counting their blessings while naming other areas requiring support. Gordon says in addition to non-perishable items, there's a high demand for sanitary napkins and toiletries.
What we need now, we need diapers for both adults and children. We need solar lights. We have some lights, but we need additional lights. And we need deodorant and we need toiletries. You know, we have been getting food, and I thank many donors for contributing food. We have we got cans, we got water, you know, so we're asking for like sanitary napkins, we're asking for diapers, we're asking for non-perishable goods, sardine, corned beef, mackerel, those are some of the stuff that we need. Some saltfish, anything that is non-perishable that can last for a period of time, we'll really appreciate it.
And speaking of sanitary napkins, the frequently overlooked women's and girls' reproductive health is a crucial topic. Lack of affordable access leaves them in a vulnerable state, unable to protect themselves during the natural function of their bodies. Shelley Weeks, founder of Her Flow Foundation, a non-profitable organization aimed at ending period poverty across Jamaica, echoes the same sentiment. She encourages donors to include these items in their care packages.
We encourage persons to include underwear and menstrual products in all their care packages. Now, we've heard different cries from different groups, and we have been supporting groups heading to St. Elizabeth, to Hanover, to Petersfield, to Westmoreland, and we have definitely been personally doing outreach in St. Mary and other parishes in the east, because we need to remember that Melissa was an all-island event. And so one of the things that I really want people to think about in their outreach is dignity. And dignity is important because even though you can see why food is necessary, even though lots of people understand that water is necessary, I want you to think of the woman and the girl who has also lost everything, including their ability to manage their periods. And so their menstrual hygiene is also necessary.
Giselle Mills reporting for CVM News.
We take a break. Stay with us.
Giving up to $5 million in free content insurance.
We've developed a free online calculator. So anybody in Jamaica, any homeowner can go on to BCIC online. You don't even have to be a BCIC customer, and it will give you a building value.
When you update your home's rebuilding cost with our online calculator, you'll get $5 million in free content insurance and up to 12 months to pay your premium.
If you're not insured, go get it now. Better to be safe than sorry.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
When the bus the man, I want to watch my son play finals on CVM, you know.
But mums, you can't watch it on CVM website, man.
Why? My son score, my son score, my son score, my son score.
Greatness begins here.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Still in the news, the extent of the damage to infrastructure is frightening. Words of Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, as he visited the hardest hit areas of Falmouth, Trelawney recently. He was accompanied by local government officials and response teams to inspect damaged critical facilities and discuss immediate recovery efforts. Crystal Williams reports.
I've been in Falmouth from this morning. It's total devastation.
On Saturday, Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie toured Falmouth with Mayor Colin Gagel to assess the widespread damage, inspecting battered markets, broken roadways and community infrastructure in order to chart the path toward recovery. Minister McKenzie says the municipal building, the fire station and the infirmary are in dire need of attention.
If I am to make comparison with Falmouth and Blackwood, the only thing that Falmouth have over Blackwood is that there are commercial activities taking place, but the extent of the damage to the infrastructure of Falmouth is frightening.
He says the municipal building will need to be rebuilt to a better standard than before. In the meantime, vendors who use the Falmouth market are desperate to return to work.
We want the main thing, the things them fix up properly, and we want to say we can work together and fix the market by December. And we want the water at the gate, the water is its main thing.
To fix
the water, the draining and everything. Because right now, see, I have a water boat, never put on and take off the shoes to come in. Because the things them inside, you understand? So we want everybody to work together.
Mr. McKenzie says drain cleaning in and around the Falmouth market will be expedited.
I have given instructions to the mayor that immediate drain cleaning must be undertaken, and they must hire extra trucks to assist in removing the debris out of the town of Fal. They have started already, but I've said to him, get more trucks in the systems to help to alleviate the conditions.
In the meantime, Mayor Gager says the main focus is on clearing the debris from the markets. He also says market fees are being temporarily waived. He says most buildings in the Trelawney capital will have to be rebuilt.
We have lost a whole lot. We have lost the main building in the town, and as Minister said to you, some of these buildings, it doesn't make sense. We try to find that amount of money. So we might have to look at new place, new land, and see what can be done.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
We head back to Clarendon now, where several communities in the parish are reeling from extensive damage in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Among the worst affected are the roads leading to the northeastern sections of the parish and the Kellett's Market, a major hub for ground provisions. Clarendon native and CVM's reporter Akeem Art has more on the mayor's visit and what's next for recovery.
Recent tour of North Clarendon, the devastation left by Hurricane Melissa proved hard to ignore. From collapsed stalls to impassable roads, the extensive damage left residents and vendors in despair. Joel Williams is the mayor of Maypen.
We're looking at doing as quickly as possible estimate that we'll be able to pass off to the ministry, that something will be able to be done. As you look outside, you see the number of vendors, and you would have seen several other shops that have been damaged by the devastation of the hurricane.
The Kellett's Market, known as one of Clarendon's busiest ground provision trading spots, has been hit hard. Roofs have been blown off, stalls destroyed, and vendors left counting their losses. But despite the setback, Mayor Williams says help is on the way.
This area is a major area for the country, I would say, because there are several persons who would have left from this community all the way to Kingston at Coronation Market. And so you would have seen the landscape as we travel along the various farming community, how devastated it has been. There are other markets. Maypen is minor damage, and we're hoping, as I said before, that we'll be able to get something done. This is very, very important for us, for this area. For this one to be rehabilitated as soon and as quickly as possible.
The mayor adds that collaboration between local authorities and the government will be key to restoring normalcy, especially for farmers and traders who depend on the market for their livelihood. Akeem Art, CVM News.
The road to restoration in Westmoreland gained momentum on Monday as Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Darrell Vaz pledged immediate aid and long-term rebuilding support for residents affected by the recent hurricane. With the parish still reeling from the natural disaster, the focus now is on delivering relief supplies to victims, including those awaiting long-term housing solutions. With more, here's Crystal Williams.
Minister of Science, Energy, Technology and Transport, Darrell Vaz, on Monday toured a number of hurricane shelters across the parish of Westmoreland and assured hurricane victims that better days are ahead. During his stop at the Petersfield shelter, Minister Vaz told the citizens of Westmoreland that the government will be making the shelters more comfortable, separating males from females, and making special areas for children.
We're going to try and separate the women and the children to make sure they have their own space, especially the young ones. I understand that you have kids from 0 to 1 year old.
He says the government has plans to deal with rebuilding houses for victims at a later date. But right now, they will be sending relief supplies to each and every shelter in the parish.
I'm going to be arranging tarpaulins, especially for those who are here that want to go back out, and those who are outside who can't get in because we don't have the space. So we are dealing now with relief. Rebuilding is another phase.
He also says the government and charitable organizations are focused on giving as much aid as possible to them. But for now, he is asking for unity among citizens as they work together.
What I do need is cooperation and for everybody to live as one. When Melissa was coming, he never asked who is who, and what color, and what church you go to. It come and it mash up everybody. So I want you to understand that we are going to work together as Jamaicans, one and all, to help our sisters and our brothers as best as we can while we try to recuperate.
Reporting for CVM News, I am Crystal Williams.
And a quick update to that story. Minister Vaz is the Minister of Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Well, a single father in rural Portland is appealing for support as he works to raise his large family of children. He says the challenges have been overwhelming, but his commitment is to keeping his family together, and that remains firm. Kevin Black tells us more.
Single father, I've only for kids, but I have the two last ones.
In the hills of Long Bay, Portland, lies a tear-inducing story of a father who is struggling to financially maintain his multitude of children. His ambitions are lofty, but his pockets say otherwise. Today, he shares a familiar tale that is relatable to fathers island-wide.
We get a little job because I try to do as much as possible to make sure I feed them. So when I bring them to school at 8 o'clock, I have until 2:30 to get back to them. So the time frame to work is minimal, but I do my best. Even though say financial reward alone just hit, because getting minimal help from them, but it's sticky.
He says the journey has not been easy, but he's urging other fathers facing similar challenges to remain present in their children's lives.
Circulate yourself with some strong friends that you can call on, friends that even if they tell you can call any hours, you don't just call them any hours. Just make sure that you have some friends that you can call on, and don't listen to the other voice in the head where I say do this if you make sure you make some money, not do it, because something else will come. Just time and patience.
Still, White is cautious. He doesn't want help from people hoping to be seen, but from those who genuinely care.
For help, as best as assistance as possible. I don't want nobody come assist me and come video it. I don't want that. My number is 382-0691. I am on Facebook, Javin Devoy. Same Instagram, same TikTok, Javin Devoy, JAVINEDEVUOY.
Mr. White is lobbying to the public for all the support he can receive to support himself and his family moving forward. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Thanks, Kevin. The U.S. State Department has announced an additional $10 million in aid to Jamaica as the country intensifies hurricane relief efforts. This brings the total U.S. donation to $22 million, following an earlier contribution of $12 million. Undersecretary for the U.S. Department of State, Jeremy Lewin, made the revelation at a media briefing this afternoon.
Financial commitments are only one side of it. That doesn't include all the military personnel, all the search and rescue, but the financial commitments are very significant and help underscore just how important Jamaica is to the United States and to the Secretary. Jamaican people, like our people, are proud and resilient, and we have every faith that they will rebound quickly and will build back even better. With that in mind, we will be here. We will be here tomorrow. We will be here next month. We'll be here for every stage of this recovery.
Meanwhile, speaking at the media briefing, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness expressed gratitude for the assistance from the U.S., but cautioned that Jamaica still has a long road to full recovery.
That there are some who will hear these huge figures and believe that it is the extent of the challenge that we face. But I hasten to add that having been hit by a Category 5 hurricane, the damage that has been done to our economy, to our infrastructure, not to mention to the lives of ordinary Jamaicans, housing, their businesses, it is in excess, and we're being very conservative. The damage is between $6 to $8 billion, and we haven't completed our assessment yet. We expect that figure will look a little bit differently after we have completed the assessment. In fact, it will be probably much more.
Stay with us. CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
Singer, a combo that's finger-licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30. Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
When the bus the man, I want to watch my son play finals for CVM, you know.
But mums, you can't watch it on CVM website, man.
Whoa, my son score, my son score, my son score, my son score.
greatness begins here.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
So glad you stayed. Still in the news, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says new rules are in place for relief vehicles now that normal tolling has resumed. Starting Monday, November 10, 2025, approved aid and emergency vehicles will be able to pass through tolls quickly to deliver essential supplies, personnel and assistance to affected communities. Minister Vaz says the move will speed up recovery efforts across the island. Government agencies, charities and NGOs involved in relief work must request approval from the Toll Authority of Jamaica to receive toll-free access. Police, fire, ambulance and military vehicles will continue to have free toll access. The protocol will remain in place until national recovery operations are complete. Cleanup and restoration efforts are underway at the Charles Gordon Market in Montego Bay, St. James, after it was damaged by Hurricane Melissa. Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, says following a preliminary assessment of the facility, the market will need to be rebuilt to better serve vendors and withstand future disasters. Carla Ramdeen reports.
Montego Bay Richard Vernon is leading restoration and cleanup efforts in partnership with the Jamaica Defense Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Mayor Vernon says based on preliminary checks, the market's roof has been damaged and the gun court area, a major space for vendors and shoppers, heavily compromised.
Based on what we are looking at, the assessment, I would say we need a new market for St. James. It has been coming in terms of the development. We have started some of the processes. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development provided some assistance for the restoration of the Charles Gordon Market, but what we have managed to do so far has been undone by Melissa.
Mayor Vernon says restoring the market is a priority. Temporary stalls will be set up in the gun court area so vendors can continue operating while plans for a full repair or a new market are developed.
The Prime Minister has made it known that he wants us to look at how we can reopen up small businesses. This is one of the livelihood of our many citizens that traverse the city of Montego Bay. They're coming from St. Elizabeth, for example, Westmoreland and other rural sections of Jamaica to sell their goods. And this is also where many of our citizens come to shop, or supermarkets or restaurants, you name it. So we must provide that opportunity for them, that space for them.
The mayor adds a full damage assessment will determine the total cost of repairs or rebuilding, guiding decisions on whether to restore the existing market or construct a new facility.
The Charles Garden Market infrastructure itself, it won't be available immediately, as you can see, that's obvious. But we will be doing further damage assessment and to come up with the overall costing for repair or for a new market. But the infrastructure itself, I foresee it being out for some time. And as soon as we have dialogue, myself and the minister and the other stakeholders, we'll know exactly where we are and what we need to do to restore our market.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
We now turn to regional and international news.
News in the region. In St. Lucia, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has announced that general elections will be on December 1st. He also called for the dissolution of the parliament today, paving the way for campaigning. More from WPG 10 News.
General elections are not constitutionally due until November 12, 2026. Confident that we have delivered what we had promised, and the need to carry on with the normal business of government. Today, I advise the Governor General to dissolve the Parliament of St. Lucia tomorrow, Monday 10th November 2025, and to issue writs of elections to pave the way for the general election. The general election will be held on Monday, 1st December 2025. Nomination day will be Friday, 21st November 2025.
In news overseas, there are reports of fatalities and multiple casualties in India's capital Delhi after a car explosion near the city's landmark Red Fort. Here's the BBC.
This incident happened at 6:55 p.m. local time in the evening. What we do know so far is that there was a loud explosion heard by eyewitnesses, and that was followed by at least 6 cars catching flames at that spot. Now, we've been able to speak with the local police here, which are at the spot and investigating this scene, and they have said they will not rule out all possibilities. For now, they're trying to ascertain what caused this blast. As you mentioned, several people have been injured and taken to a nearby hospital. We do know that there have been casualties. For now, the city police has said they are examining those numbers and can only verify them after a local hospital tells them so. But eyewitnesses have talked about hearing a loud explosion as far as about 2 kilometers from the spot. And this is one of the busiest neighborhoods in Delhi. It's a congested area, and it's often referred to as Old Delhi. So there are narrow by-lanes over there outside that metro station. So the sheer geography of that place is such that there could be more casualties, and we are waiting more details.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Kevin Black.
We take a break. When we return, it's time for sports with Ronaldo Adams.
Into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the